Good morning, people. Right, it is Monday morning, 6:48 in the morning, and April the 6th, and one trade under my belt already. Now I got up, did my normal lines, did cable, and couldn't see a huge amount of clarity there. I wanted to be going short based on this H4 chart and the fact that the RSI was below zero. I did not want to be trading against the daily direction of price as well, below the daily open. So it was, excuse me, in fact it was above the daily open. I do apologise, you can't see it on there, but we'd gapped down and then closed the gap up, and we were starting to push back down again. And as you can see, Spaghetti Junction, I do apologise, but it is all clear as you get down to, or becomes clear should I say, as you get down to the low time frames. These two highlighted levels here, that one there and that one there, the white dots, are the previous H4's high and low. So they are the zone, and this is a powerful weapon in your armory. The H4, it has to break out of H4 before it can go anywhere. H1 isn't worth doing that because there won't be much of a gap between potential levels to target. Just getting ready for the 7 AM blast, as it were. That's the alarms. I've just set a series of alarms just in case I decide to roll over and go back to sleep, which is fairly rare. So as you can see now, cable has punched up. You can see it behind the lines there. Big old move up on the last 15-minute bar, and then potential to come down. So I didn't see anything of interest there. Loads of levels in my way. I want to be trading a gap like that. That H4 breakout, next serious level to go to is it's marked on that, is the next H4 high. And likewise, if we'd broken out to the downside here, you've got the H4 that I talked about. That's the previous H4's high and low, which happened about an hour ago, I think, or 3/4 an hour ago. Let's have a look. An hour ago nearly. So, I mean, disclaimer once again, you cannot trade anything I suggest on here. Always trade what your own analysis suggests. Now, we could also draw an ascending trend line on here, connecting the lows that make higher highs. So it went high, low, new high. So we can connect this low here, and then pulled back, the one candle pullback there on this 5-minute chart, new high, broke that high there with that, and it's pushed up. You can clearly see now it's hit an H1 high over here and is struggling. I did not want to be aiming for this move here, say for example, after the RSI histo gave us a trigger, break through the 20, perfect entry, but I wasn't happy about going against the tide. Easy 5 or 6 pips there, in fact, well, net 9 pips there, something like that. So trust your indicators. As a scalper, that was a trust. Where are you, mouse? There it is. Oops, I'm not sure what's going on. It's got itself in a right knot. What is going on? Right, apologies. Yeah, so that was a perfectly, learn to trust your indicators. You've got the punch up, as we say, and another punch, but it didn't break the 20, so that wasn't really an entry. And then finally, the final push to the north side, indicator indicated it, as it were. You could see the trend on the line chart, low, high, high, low, high, high, breakout, and that was it. If you'd followed the rules there, that was a perfect trade. I decided to have a look at another pair. I was about to say, this was showing pound massively weak as well, so it suggested that the move was just a sort of a pump and dump type move that people talk about, and it's proving to be the case. So how can I trade this safely? We'll find a currency pair that looks like it should look like, if that makes any sense. CAD is seriously strong, cable was seriously weak, so flip over to cable or pound CAD and have a look at that. Draw a few levels on there. I only stuck to the H4, and that's how convinced I am H4 is fantastic. If you want to simplify your charts in the morning, just put a daily high, daily low, a couple of H4 levels that may affect the price, and if a breakout looks potential on that, and then take the trade. And that's the trade I took. 13 pips net, so instead of having to scrabble around for 7 or 8 on the or 5 or 6 on cable to be safe with all those levels in front of me, do a few of these, look at the best one. I don't really recommend this because I don't understand quite how it works, but if you want to put something like this on your chart, it's currency strength either alert, I think it's currency strength alert. And as you can see, this exceeded my my daily pip count by 2.5 times. There's a 20 pip mark. It's gone down. Let's have a look. So the move was 25 pips. Goes like a rocket. If we look closely at the candlesticks and the indicator, when I entered, you could clearly see low, high, high, low, high, high on this 5-minute chart. High, low, lower, high, lower, low. Continue singing the song until the low of the penultimate candle, the one before, so the one you can count as the trend. Clearly see that closed below there, and it was just a question of hitting it. A little bit of drawdown, 5 or 6 pips. In fact, I think it went up as high as 9 pips, and then the price crashed 25, as I said. So have a look at the higher time frame. Oh, and the important thing rather is that we'd ducked below the 20 on both my entry candle here and the previous one. And what's important is the low of the indicator, if you like, the trigger bar, has been busted by the continuation bar to the downside. So this indicator is priceless. You can forget about this one. If you're new to my stuff, this is a proprietary indicator. I've had it on my charts for 15 years. I learned to trade that with confidence. I've tried to take it off my charts, but I just I like it there, so why not? Everything else pointed towards this going down again. Let's have a look at the 15. Excuse me. 15 has broken through the previous green, so prior to my trade it had gone from green to red, so that's brilliant. My one, as you can see, was in discrepancy again, a negative point for that indicator against the free one, and also they're both on because whenever I get a new indicator on my charts, which is very rare, I always test it against this thing and my knowledge of candlestick price action. So once again here we've got a well, no, actually this one did trigger this time. We've got a low, high, high, low, high, high, followed by a high, low, lower, high, lower, low, and close below the green's low. That's the break of old support. Then it comes and tests any other resistance. It looks like it broke that as well. It will test it as resistance, that little push back, which if you use the 1-minute chart, then you can trade that with perfect ducks in a row trading method, which is what I suggest here. What I do, sorry, get my tongue tied. It's still early in the morning. I haven't even had my first coffee of the morning yet. So 2 times daily trade requirement, cash and pips, more than that in fact, and a perfect trade again before breakfast, guys. So, and you know, these charts, I know they look a mess. That cable one looked an absolute mess, but this one isn't a mess. You got the daily, you got the pivot points on there, the daily pivot. You'll have S1 down here, which this should be likely to go to, as it were. Then then the half round number, and you know, what can I say really? It just does what it says on the tin. This method couldn't be simpler in my opinion. It's mechanical, guys. So that's a lesson in finding the best looking currency pair. Quick skip back to cable again, see what that's done. And remember, don't trade anything I recommend on here. Trade what you analyze on your charts. And this is being naughty. I guess this might happen, but it goes all against my rules. I don't trade what I guess. I trade what my indicator and charts tell me. So this has done what the indicator said it would do. So how cool is that, really? So you know, pound is weak, or relatively weak, and they're still pushing it up. What does that tell you, guys? Get ready for a potential drop, but you can never outguess the markets, as it were. This now, you know, because the higher the time frame, you should never ever trade against whatever the charts are telling you, just because you think it's going to do something. Always let the indicators that you love and trust, and the analysis that you love and trust after doing it for however many years it takes you to get to conquer it, as it were, and then just play. But what what does this tell me? There's no power to the long side. You could only really want to be trading this if we're up near that 20, like these are here, over here. So, you know, this is what they do. You know, at this point here, all we had was below zero, no momentum whatsoever on the, you know, it's only an hourly time frame, and then what do? They reverse it down. So you will learn to understand what your indicators are telling you, but it will take time, guys, you know. But why, you know, go back to the CAD again. That's what's called getting your ducks in a row, in my opinion. You know, this was a no-brainer, and who knows what you might see later on. I'm not going to say anything about what I might be trading on here, but the higher time frame indicators lead the way, guys. That's where this should connect, not there, because this hasn't broken this low, but here is fine, because this low has been, that lower high has broken this low here, so that's a valid connection there to there, but it's not valid there to there. So price has pushed up through, I hope that makes sense, and then just collapsed again. So if you'd have drawn this line up here and were expecting it to potentially get tested up here by some, you would have been wrong, in my opinion. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Notice how CAD is red below the open of the daily candle compared to cable, which is green. Not sure what the others, I haven't even looked at the others, but we can do. Let's just wait for the data to, yeah, red again. We're on S2 on that one. That's a bad sign for the pound. And GJ, I think that was green. I did look at it. Yep, that's powering on up against the trend, as it were. So pound's a little bit all over the place, but learn to trust your analysis, learn to trust your indicators, and you can still take perfectly good trades. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Have a good week even.